Hello, everyone. This is Pharaoh Vincent, and I wanted to come up with another quick Watcher of Realms video. Two in a day, I know, and especially on my voice that is a little rough, so I apologize. Um, I've been a little under the weather, so if you didn't see my other video on my gripes about guild versus guild matchmaking, you will hear that same thing in that video too. Reason why I wanted to make two videos in a day is because of a conversation I had with somebody in World Chat, and I really just wanted to go through a strategy that maybe people should consider. Let's say you are like me and you, oh, that's annoying. Let's say you're like me and you didn't do a good job saving for Sunwukong and you're at like 44 rare summons. I am close to pity, but we'll see. I'll take my 1 in 5 chance. But I also don't necessarily think that I can't get up to 200 before the end of this weekend. Um, I have a few things that I can do to try to help with that, but some things to note. First and foremost, if you look at the event order, specifically the Sage's Invocation, this goes through the 31st, which is Tuesday. So you get an extra day of summoning. You're getting Friday and Tuesday. I recommend, if you are like me and you do not have your 200 summons right now, to make sure and guarantee you get Sun Wukong. You're not going to use any of your blues, like I haven't been throughout most of the week. Ever since I realized, like, oh hey, I went too far on the Lyra +1 banner because I really wanted Constance. I still don't have Constance. I'm mad. Uh, on the Lyra banner, by the way, I totally pulled Krosik or Kozik or whatever, and that feels terrible. You know, that feels bad when you get Fishman. And it's so bad, I didn't even bother awakening him. I just sold it because I wanted the coins. Anyways, TLDR, we don't need that story. So why is this important? A couple things to keep in mind. You have the Sage's Return, which is going to have some kind of blue crystal rewards. I'm not going to be surprised by that. If this is anything like some of these other ones that we've run into in the past when we get new heroes, they usually have these events where you go in and you attack, and those events oftentimes give you a fair bit of blue crystals. As well, they show ancient summons, but really the blues on that one. I'm just thinking back to like all of the limited heroes. When we get those little like storied events around that limited hero, we usually get a fair amount of blue crystals with that. You also have a Tale of the Smith, Spiritual Art Altar, right? You have some of these events coming up this weekend. So, what do? You don't have 200 summons on Friday. Don't blow all of your crystals. Don't blow all your diamonds. Okay. Check your store every hour or so. I mean, again, have a life. You don't have to be there every hour. Don't set up an alarm and wake yourself up all night. Please, God, don't be that person. Sleep. But what you can do is make sure that you're getting as many of the 70 gem blue summons from this throughout the week that you can. Do not, under any circumstance, blow a 10 pull on full freaking diamonds. I mean, honestly, unless your name is Fastidious, and I'm picking on you, Fastidious, or like you happen to have just this massive number of diamonds. And again, no shade, man. That dude makes some great content. I love his content. But unless you have like a massive diamond reserve and you're willing to like spend a bunch of diamonds, like don't do it. The best thing to do is wait till the last day of the banner. During the time that you're collecting, though, like throughout the week, and make sure that you're able to purchase as many discount blues as possible. For every 9 discount blues you get, that is a free 10 pull. Why? Because it's 88 crystals for one at full price, or 70, meaning you're saving 18 per. And I'm rounding this down to 10 for ease of math because technically speaking, it's like 8 and you get, 9 for free or something. Like the math is weird. I don't bother with that. It's just do 10. It's easier. Because even at the saving of 10, right? If you start really kind of boiling it down and getting it to its smallest numbers, you're looking at an extra, I don't know, an extra summon per 10, right? For free. Easy. That's like easy math. The more you do that over the course of these next 5 days that you get, or 4 days, or I can math, I swear, over the next 4 days, there's a good chance you might be able to get up to 200 even with that. If you're rationing out your gems, you're only buying, I'm skipping all my stamina, which I don't normally do. I usually don't recommend anyone skip stamina, by the way, but you really make sure that you're getting those discounts throughout the next 4 days. And then the last hour you are planning on playing on the banner on Tuesday, you're going wild. Blow everything. Full price summons, whatever you need, blow everything on Sunwukong. And I wanted to make this video because I feel like no one talks about what to do if you haven't prepared yourself adequately. I found myself in the situation, and I found another individual. I'm going to pick on you, U99, but they basically were asking like, "Hey, man, like, I don't have enough to summon 200 times. Should I skip Sun Wukong?" And we were talking in world chat, like, I don't know, in English 77, but you get the idea. Like, we were talking in world chat, and great summons that he got on his 1+1. Good job. Like, I like all the things that he did. You do have that 1 in 5 chance if you hit pity, like I'm about to. But don't commit your full price gems until the very end. And this is the advice I gave to him. This is the advice I'm taking myself. This is why I wanted to call this out on this video, is because there might be other people who have that question. Maybe you're new to the game and you really weren't saving up for this, or maybe you're just now getting into content and people are starting to talk about this monkey and you're like, what's going on? I'm hoping this video finds somebody out there that might help them. But it's also kind of evergreen, because if you ever find yourself in the situation going forward where you don't have a 200 summon buffer, this is how to handle it. Part 2, the quick part 2 of this video. If you can, going forward, try to keep 200 summons or 20 divines. So 200 of your reds, 200 blues, or 20 divines on hand at all times. And I know it might seem weird, but like in between these big, huge, actually game-breaking heroes, it's a good idea to do so. Obviously, there's, Praetus and Ingrid this month, so like it's kind of a one or the other, right? If you are only at 200. But when it comes to getting your like top of the line heroes, right? People that look really good or that you think are going to be amazing, try not to summon every weekend. You're going to get banners on a lot of good heroes constantly. And just be patient, right? If you don't desperately need them, don't summon on them. And that's kind of my advice to you. Keep 200. Keep a full 200, a full pity on hand. And then anything you have above that, you can gamble with, have fun with. But try to build up to that section so that you have that guarantee when these events come up going forward. Advice that I'm going to take myself. Now, on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to be honest with everyone. If you are mid-game or even late game, you have a majority of the heroes and there's really nothing that's going to change your life in blues or divines, then your best bet is to buy these staminas. Do not bother with the 60 stamina potions. The 60 stamina potions in this are a complete joke. These things, don't buy them in the shop unless they're 4 gold or at a discount. But both the 100 stamina and the 200 stamina potions are the exact same cost. What do you mean, Vincent? So it's 100 stamina for 24 or 200 stamina potion for 48 at the 20% mark. And at the 25% mark, this goes down to 22. And the 200 stamina potion goes down to 45. So it's 1 cheaper for this at the 25% rate. And stamina for any mid or late game player is generally going to be way better than blue summons any day of the week. And especially you could argue for the 100 diamonds for reds. That would be fine if you want to do that. But those are the only ones I'd recommend buying after a certain amount of time. Unless, of course, you are in a build-up phase like I am right now. So once you hit your 200, But once you're over that, then you got a good thing going. The second kind of caveat to that, though, is make your decision based off of how many diamonds you usually get and what your diamond economy is looking like. Right? I burn through my diamonds like every week. I'm always at nothing pretty quick because of stamina, generally speaking. So it's expensive. Keeping up with it takes a lot. So I do recommend, hey, keep that in mind. But I'm just saying, if you don't need nothing from blue summons or divine summons, then get more gear, because better demon soldier levels, better gear, that's generally going to make up for having good heroes almost every day of the week. You can get through a lot in this game with good gear. So until you have gear that is deck the halls, you know what I mean? Huge, scary, right? Gold rolls on random stuff, just because until you start getting really good gear, you probably should be spending more on stamina than you think you are. So just throwing that out there. My tip to everyone today. But with that, I will call it here. I appreciate everyone getting this far. If you like this kind of content, please feel free to, like and subscribe. It really actually does help the channel out a lot. And I will see you on the next one.